Welcome, everybody, to episode 8 of the Gaming and Drinking Podcast.
Hello.
I am one of your hosts, Travis Casey. With me, as always, is...
I'm Adam.
I don't know
Hey.
if you're going to take it away if you want me to.
No, I thought you were going to do it. It's okay. This is actually, you know what? I'm glad you did that. I was going to do it too, because we did remind ourselves last week.
We need to start using our names.
Look at that porn.
We assume that everyone knows
beautiful.
who the fuck we are, and that's probably that is almost entirely
no one knows
case.
who we are. We're on the internet, dude.
Yes,
We're on the internet.
I'm Travis, and this is Adam. We're here for another episode of drinking and gaming and all the things in between. We'll start, as we always do, with what we are drinking at this moment. Adam, what do you got?
I am drinking a little something from the Noda Brewing Company in Charlotte. Called Hopcakes. It is a 10.2% IPA brewed with Vermont maple syrup, which I'm kind of nervous about. But I know you said
about that.
I know you said you had it before.
Yes, I sell that.
Ooh.
And it's an Imperial IPA, 10.7%. It is fantastic.
It's not bad. It's okay. It's okay. With like an IPA it's a little too sweet for me for an IPA.
Yeah, the syrup gives it a little more of a sweet kick to the edge of it.
But that aftertaste is nice.
It's very nice, yeah.
That tastes just like pancakes.
Yep.
I've been craving pancakes for like the last week, so this is perfect.
I thought you had pancakes the other day.
No, I had eggs.
You didn't actually get the pancakes?
I did not get the pancakes. That's why I got this, was because I wanted pancakes.
I got you. Okay, that makes more sense now. All right, I am drinking a Sun Lab. We've featured them a couple of times now. They're a fantastic brewery. Sun Lab, Lovely. Yeah, we had the Dark Side one a couple of weeks ago. I've had them before.
Gotcha.
This is My Lovely. It's an American sour ale with strawberry, lychee, and coconut.
Ooh.
I'm not a big coconut person, but generally if it's blended in with the beer, I don't mind it that much. So let's give this bad boy a whirl.
Put the coconut in the lime. You said lime, lychee, and coconut?
Strawberry, lychee.
Strawberry, lychee. Okay.
You did the lime. You gave yourself the lime impression because you did a joke.
I thought about the lime in the...
the song that...
Yeah, I know.
From a few years ago.
I'm lame. A few years?
However many years.
That is a really old song.
You've got dad jokes without being a dad. Well, I guess you're a dog dad, so.
Oh, yeah. I'm a doggy daddy.
Yeah, I'm a doggy daddy too, and so I guess we can make dad jokes on the pod. It's okay.
Yeah,
that's acceptable, right?
Especially if they are about dogs.
Yeah.
I don't have any about dogs. I have one that has a dog in it, but it's not like about the dog.
We don't have to. We don't have to.
We can. I mean, I can.
But we don't have to. We can.
All right, here we go. Here we go. So there are these three bank robbers. They go rob a bank, right? And they're running from the cops, and they run into this old abandoned warehouse. Well, it's not. They run into this warehouse, and one of them hides behind a pack of wild dogs. One of them hides behind a pack of feral cats. One of them hides behind a sack of potatoes. The cops come in after him. The one behind the dog starts barking. He's like, "Arr, arr, arr." So they think he's a dog. They're like, "Oh, that's just a bunch of dogs." They move on. They go to the cats. The guy hiding behind the cats goes, "Meow." And then they think, okay, that's just a bunch of cats. Don't worry about it. Then they shine the light over to the sack of potatoes. The guy goes, "Potatoes." And then they catch him.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That is so bad.
It's so bad.
Did you make that up like right now on the spot?
No. One of my friends told me that when I was like 12, and I was like, that's so dumb, and I've always remembered it.
Wow, it stuck with you for that long? Yeah. I guess it is impressively bad. So
it is so bad. Oh, dude, I've got worse.
We don't. No, we don't. Not after that one. You've lost joke telling privileges on this show.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
And we'll save it. We'll save the one about the guy with the giant orange head for another day.
Oh boy, the giant. I think that might be a little triggering to some people these days.
No, it's not who you're thinking about.
All right. Well, we're probably going to have a lighter show today. Adam's feeling a little under the weather. Yeah. It is late as we're recording this ep.
My little brother got me sick, and it's not COVID. I am vaccinated. Just so we're all on the same page.
All on the same page. So we're gonna
kitty cats. Oh, there's a kitty cat. Yep.
We're probably gonna run through some things here real quick. We've already done our brew stuff for this week. We're gonna.
Hey, what do you think about that brew you're drinking there?
It's good. Pretty good. It's really good. It's a very standard, sour, which I'm a big fan of.
Do you know what the ABV is on that?
5.7.
Okay.
It's a little lower. Yeah, 5.7. It's a little bit lower than my usual sour. I like my sours to be pretty boozy, but it was between this and the Maximum Florida, which you had on last week, so I didn't really want to. I really want to try that.
I'm gonna have another one tonight.
Oh, do you still have some left?
I've got one left, and I was saving it.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I have some some good stuff that I'm waiting to try, waiting in the wings. But I like to start with the sour because it's always so refring to have one of these. Man. Like a sour is so good.
For sure. I feel like the reason I did the IPA was because I feel like all I've been drinking on this show is sours. Yeah. Like I drink a ton of sours, and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna get like a weird IPA.
I also have an IPA waiting. I feature IPAs on here a couple.
You
times.
do.
I'm not the biggest IPA fan in the world either anymore, which is weird. I used to be. I used to love IPAs, but as I've gotten older, I haven't been able to drink them as much. I just kind of.
By the way, for the audio listeners, that is Parker, the geriatric beagle, going nuts because I'm guessing Sean just got home.
Sean is home.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna mute this for a second. Why don't you talk about what you've been playing?
Okay.
Got a couple of things on.
Yeah, sure. So I have taken this week and kind of just gone back and played some of the old PSN games that I either really enjoyed or that I haven't gotten around to yet and just kind of wanted to check out. One of those was I'm feeling a cozy game this week.
And what cozy game is that?
It was Burly Men at Sea, which
seems like a game you would play.
It was great, man. It was super cozy. Like it's just one that you can kind of sit and there's not really a whole lot of it's not a challenging game in any way. It's just something. It's not a walking sim, but it's kind of just a decision sim. Where
is it first person?
No, it's actually it looks like it's in a children's book. It'll be like an all white screen, and then like in the middle there will be a circle, and that's where everything is happening, is in this one little circle area. And then like to walk to the right, you press R2 and the circle expands to the right, and then they walk that way, and then the circle closes and moves with them.
Gotcha.
And then you can go like right or you can go left, and then there will be a decision over here or a decision over there. And it's just kind of like a branching like choose your own adventure kind of thing. And as you do more and more get to more and more of the endings, it fills out a bookshelf at the end of like different seafaring adventure tales that like this old guy in the village has on his bookshelf. He's like, you're not the first people that have done this. Look at all these other books I have. And so are
you playing through those adventures, or are you just like filling out?
You're creating them, and then like the ones that you create become a book and get put on a shelf. And so like as you do more of the adventures, you've got like this whole blank shelf that's all like these are all going to be all your stories. So you can kind of see how far along in the game you are by which ending you've gotten, who you've interacted with, and like as you do more of those, it fills out the bookshelf more and more. And I think there's like 12 endings, I think 12 or 13 endings, and each run only takes about 20 minutes. And so it's super fast. Like you can get in, get out, and that's kind of what I wanted. It was a late night when I was playing, and I was tired, and I was like, this just seems like a chill thing to do. And yeah, it was, but I thought I was only going to play it once. I ended up running through it like 4 or 5 times. Just because I wanted to see how the different like choices matter, because they do. Right. Each choice you make actually really affects everything, because it is such a small thing. They can make it to where every decision you make makes a huge impact.
So it's not like The Walking Dead where you might like affect some dialogue or something, but basically the story path is the story path. You remember how in The Walking Dead it was like somebody remember this, and it didn't really matter. Like,
that's how it is in all the Telltale games.
Yeah. So it's not like that. This is actual like impactful,
very
narrative
very
storytelling.
Impactful. Like there's right off the rip. So the impetus of the game is like you are these three guys. I think your names are Hasty Beard, Brave Beard. Who's the other guy? Steady Beard. Those are your three characters,
and it's named like
dude,
Joe.
they don't have faces. They're just like these it's a 2-dimensional. Like I said, it looks like a children's book. They just are these little circles, and then it's like
beards,
huge beards.
That's
huge
awesome.
Beards. One's
That's
a red,
really cool.
red beard, blonde beard, and brown beard.
Nice.
And you find this message in a bottle, and then you get in a ship, and you're like, we got to figure this out. Yeah. Message in a bottle.
Sting was there. It was a really weird game.
Yeah, Sting was there in the whale once you get swallowed. No, like you find a message in a bottle. It's a map, but it's a totally blank map. And so you go to find this guy in the village. He's like, "Oh, it's a blank map. That means you got to fill it out." And it's like, "Oh, what? Okay." And then you like go, and the impetus is you go out on your boat and you immediately get swallowed by a whale every single time. And even right from that point, that's when the decisions start. And at the very beginning, you can either make a decision to go. There are like these little nymph ghosts inside the whale. You can either hang out with them, where they say like, if you hang out with us, you'll get to the next point, or you can take these barrels that float and put them around your waist and get shot out of the blowhole.
Shot out of the blowhole.
Yeah. So right from the get-go, it's like every single point you get to can either end the story or keep the story going or branch off and do another direction of the story.
That's really cool.
It's really, really neat. And the music, dude, the music is great. It kind of reminded me, like, the whole thing kind of was like, did the Shins make this game? Like, like
awesome.
the music was like
super, so like early indie pop.
Yeah, like super indie pop, very light-hearted kind of melodies, and
we're talking like Oververted drumming. World era Shins, like their early stuff when it was like fun and kind of goofy.
Yeah, it's fun. It's very fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And there's like this, every time the game ends, you come across this like very mystical like sea dragon that kind of like tells you like, hey, you found me again, but I hope I get to see you again, because obviously there's other stuff you didn't do here.
Right.
And so then you get like, then you go through a fog, and then you get back to the island, and everybody's like, why are we back at the island? And then you start over. And so like it's a continuing thing, even though it starts over every time and you get to do the same thing again, it's still a continuation of the same story.
Right.
Which is really neat. I always loved the as a kid, I always loved the Goosebumps Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Yep, same. Even though if you like, those games are bad. Or those books are bad.
Oh,
like,
I loved them though. I haven't read one. Ooh, that should be a stream, dude. I've got now that I'm back here at my parents' house temporarily, I went in the attic, dude.
Cool stuff out.
I found my entire Goosebumps collection.
Heck yeah.
And it is huge. It's huge. It's 2 boxes that are 3 feet tall, full of Goosebumps books and like other old school 90s stuff. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a stream for show.
That sounds like a really good idea for a stream. But yeah. Those books are bad, but I freaking love them. Like, they were so much fun when I was a kid. Like, now you go back, it's like 3 pages of nonsense, and then you get eaten by an alligator. But like I remember
that should be another stream things. Is just reading like the Choose Your Own Adventure.
Just read like all the ways it goes bad.
All right, first thing that comes to your mind, favorite Goosebumps book?
Night of the Living Dummy. Probably part 2.
Cliche.
I mean, it was the best one. That is a reason why it's cliche though. Like, it was the best one. Like, my that was the scariest, I think, when I was a kid. But I think my favorite one was probably like any of the ones like set at camp. I don't remember which one specifically it was, but there was like Camp
Horrorwood or something like
Camp
that.
Nightmare, I think it was called Camp Nightmare.
Yeah.
But any of the ones that were like set in camp, like really, really.
I like the haunted. I like the Haunted Mask.
The Haunted Mask was good.
Also, Scrambled Eggs from Outer Space.
that's way past my time. That was when they got real dumb and goofy.
Then I also liked God, what was the one? Don't Go Into the Basement. Is that the one?
Basement. Yeah, that was really good. Say Cheese and Die. That was a good one with the camera.
Dude, Say Cheese and Die used to scare the shit out of me.
That cover was really creepy. Oh, and the Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. That scared the crap out of me as a kid. There's a scene that I still remember.
You know what's weird? I'm getting goosebumps right now.
There's a scene in that book where the TV show. There's a scene in that book where this kid is like looking out into the cornfields, and he sees the Scarecrow walk, like literally just walking. But I still remember reading that when I was a kid and being like, this is the scariest thing I've ever read in my entire life. It's scary. And I still remember to this day. But yeah, that.
All right, so no, my favorite Goosebumps book though, and episode, Attack of the Mutant. Do you remember that?
Past my time. No, it's past my time.
It wasn't. It was a pretty early one.
No way.
It was.
Unless it's called something different, you just got the
Attack of the Mutant. It was about a guy, a kid who came across this like warehouse kind of facility in the middle of nowhere, and it was like it ended up. He's like, oh, it looks just like the. He's like, oh, this looks just like the lair from the comic book that I read for the bad guy, and
oh yes,
yeah.
I did love this one,
dude. Attack of the Mutant.
Oh my god, did they turn this one into a TV show?
Yeah, they did. They did the TV show for that. Oh
shit,
one.
Dude! I just googled this. It's on Google Books for free.
What?
Yeah.
I bet I have it in the.
Oh wait, maybe it's just the preview is free. Oh, let me see if I can go to the end of it.
Dude, it's so good.
Nope, it's full on the whole. No, that's page number 4.
Dude, and you know what's funny is I lived in Orlando for a while.
Yeah.
So for people that don't love Goosebumps, the cover of this one, it's a guy. It's like a super villain guy that looks like evil Batman kinda. And the little tagline is he's no superhero, he's a super villain. And he's like running at the artist, and he's in front of like this like factory warehouse looking place. But I haven't seen that book cover in forever. But
I haven't either. It's great.
I lived in Orlando, and there's this thing in Orlando called the I-4 eyesore. Have you ever heard of it? It's like this building. It's this famous. If anybody ever goes to Disney World, you drive by the I-4 eyesore, and it's just like this huge like skyscraper building in the middle of nowhere for absolutely no reason. The guy started building it and then went bankrupt, and now there's just like this half finished like office building.
That's great.
And every time I drove by it, I always thought of this.
Thought book. Of that cover. Yeah.
I thought of this book every single time. And so yeah, but that was Attack of the Mutants. Probably my favorite Goosebumps book. That one was
that was really
real good. And there was another one about like a no, never mind. I'm thinking of what was that? Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are You Afraid of the Dark? I was gonna say there's a similar episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark where the comic book comes to life, the Ghastly Grinner, and like it like the villain comes out of the comic book. That's a really
I know what you're talking about. Really no, but that's not the one I was thinking of. There were two. All right, so this is now we're on to Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah, this is the nostalgia cast.
So the one that used to scare the bejesus out of me when I was a kid was the one.
Pool one.
Yes. Yeah, how did you know?
Because
have we had this conversation?
No, but every kid was scarred by this episode, so that's why I know. But also, I recently.
I mean, I was like 8 when that show came out.
I bought the entire run of Are You Afraid of the Dark on sale. It was like on sale with Voodoo for like $5, like every episode.
Nice.
And so I was going through like the first couple of seasons, the ones that I remembered. And I got to that. I watched them all the way through, and I got to that episode, and it still holds up. Like, it's still creepy.
Really?
Yes. I was like
with like the acid monster.
Yeah, because
or whatever.
Because it kills a little boy at the beginning of the episode, and like that's pretty brutal for like Nickelodeon TV and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's like a scene like the girl is like teasing the guy, and she wants to like he's supposed to like teach her how to swim, or she's supposed to teach him how to swim. I can't remember. But they like half the episode is them just floating in the pool and like surrounded by this like creepy, because they board up the part where the kid died, and he's like, and the monster comes out, and it's like, it's basically like a skeleton with like the bloody veins and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, it's really well done and really creepy. I was really surprised at how effective that
episode has messed with me. I've literally, like, in my 20s had dreams about that monster.
It's a very well done monster, and for that time, for the age group that was watching it, very, very, I mean,
effective. Nick was like, it was like 90% shows for 8 to 12-year-olds, and then after that, like, then it's like, I hope you're 23 and older, because
well, Snick used to be like the Saturday Night Nick, so that's what it's called, Snick. And I used to watch. I used to think I was like watching like MTV, or something like that. I remember, like, around Halloween, everything on Snick would turn like creepy and stuff. Like the Hey Dude episode would be creepy. The like Salute Your Shorts episodes, like Doug, Rugrats, all of them would do like Halloween episodes, and I loved it. But the best ones were always Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like they would always have like a super cool episode dedicated to Halloween or something. And I'm pretty sure that one came out around that time. Like, I'm pretty sure that was like one of their Halloween block episodes. Like, I could be misremembering
that. One was rough. That one was,
but it feels like a Halloween episode because it's so effective and scary. But yeah, that show is, I still watch them to this day. Like, I put them on in the background and like go do something else or go read or whatever. It's really cool for that.
Next time we have a late night drunk night, instead of watching whatever the hell that was last time I was over there, what was that? The Scary Shows with Bows or some shit?
Scary Shows with Bows. It's the last drive-in with Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah. So instead of that, we need to put on some Are You Afraid of the Dark next time.
Hey, you got a good Clint Howard education.
I did.
That was really cool.
I did. That was some crazy stuff.
That was a really cool movie that I had never seen before. That's why I like Joe Bob, because it brings in stuff that I'm not super familiar with. And
on another note, you know what I think would go well with this IPA?
What?
Some scotch.
Yeah.
A little bit of the old Broikladick. No, I'm just kidding. It's Brook Laddie. My best friend from when I was a kid got me this for my birthday a couple weeks ago. Let's see if there's actually any left.
Yeah. Got a swallow.
Yeah.
Got a little swallow up in there. No ice cube?
Nah, just a little dab of water. Here's how you do it. You ready?
For you audio listeners, he just stuck his finger in like one of those bird beaker things and let it rip onto the. It's what Ian Malcolm does to Ellie in Jurassic Park is what he did to that water just then.
God. But yeah, okay. So I know. Oh man, we should have a nostalgia cast. This is not going to be. We're already halfway there, but no, let's get into the stuff.
Well, I mean, your next two games are basically nostalgia trips, so
yeah, basically. So I will briefly. I know we spent like the first like 3 episodes of this just basically talking like Mass Effect and Zelda.
Yeah.
And I am still on that Mass Effect bullshit, and I'm just slowly working my way through it.
Yeah.
I'm really, really enjoying it though.
Yep.
I am now rolling with Garrus. I don't think I'll ever leave Garrus in the ship.
He's never leaving my boy.
Garrus is my dude. Ever since I found him, I'm like, dude, this is like my guy from the last game, my one guy from the last game. And I was riding with Morden, but now I just got this oh gosh, I can't remember her name, but she's like the assassin chick. She's got like the black lipstick.
Jack.
Is that Jack?
Yeah. Jack, the shaved head.
No, she's just like an assassin. She's just got like a hood up. Like I haven't even seen her full head yet.
Oh. I'm pretty sure Jack has like the black lipstick like right here, I think.
I don't know.
It's been a while since I played it, but
she's dope though. Like when you first meet her, you meet her at the Citadel. The first time I went to the Citadel, she was she actually like got to me via like this digital advertisement. And it's like, hey, she's like, hey, come talk to me. And then like you go and have this conversation with like a digital billboard. And she's like, all right. At the end, she's like, all right, you should probably go because people are going to think you're crazy sitting here talking to a billboard. I was like, oh my God, you're awesome. And so now it's me and Garrus and her running around.
Wait, are you talking about Thane? Thane's a dude.
No.
Or Dossier?
Mass Effect 2 Squad.
I'm looking at the people. I can't see anybody that you're talking about.
Let me see. I'm sorry, everybody. We got to figure out this character. I should have written this down. That's okay though. Let's see. Kasumi. Yeah, Kasumi.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I ever. Oh, she's a DLC. I might not have ever played with her.
She's DLC, dude. She's cool. Yeah. She's real cool.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played with her.
You'll get to her. You'll get to her playing through this other, and that's awesome that you're gonna have something to run across that like you never actually did before.
That's why I didn't know who, because she does remind me of the description sounds like Jack, but it's not Jack because Jack has all the tattoos and stuff. But Jack is my favorite character. She's
basically just an assassin, but also like super tech savvy. She's really cool. But I've been doing a couple missions and I'm getting through it. I've unlocked several of the upgrades for like the ship and my different types of armor. Haven't really gotten to the romance portion. Like I was really like, after all the stuff I've heard about Mass Effect, I thought romance was going to be way more part of it. I was like, I'm about to go bang a bunch of aliens.
Well, it's only, you have to search it out. Like it's only because you can bang anybody that I think that people.
You can bang anybody?
Most anybody, I think. You can't bang Tali until like the last game. But I think everybody else, most people you can.
Okay. Well, Kasumi's going to get it.
I don't know about DLC characters. Maybe you can't bang the DLC characters. I'm not sure. But it's only
she's
because
about like, to DLC.
Well, you have to think like those. Oh, my God. I'm gonna let you sit with that one for a second.
No, it worked.
I think the reason it's just like with Hades, right? Like the fandom of the like sexuality around the game is more pronounced than the sexuality within the game.
Yeah,
you know. So I think that's a reason why you've probably heard more about the sex stuff than you're actually seeing in the game because it's not that prominent. It's not that prevalent.
The more I get into it, the less I care about that, and the more I just feel like I'm playing through my own personal Star Trek adventure.
That's exactly what it is. That's 100% what it is.
It's
cool. You're playing through a Star Trek mission with the stakes of a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And
it's the best of both worlds.
And the combat and like space battles of a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
So it's like the mentality or like the aesthetics and the mentality of a Star Trek, but the like grandiose fantasy of a Star Wars. And yes, like it's basically the best of both worlds. And what I really like about 2 is they lean heavily into like the neon soaked like cyber aesthetic more so than they do in the first one. Like have you got to the murder scene stuff yet? There's like there's a planet where you basically become a detective and you're trying to solve a murder. And,
no, maybe
you would remember this is very memorable.
No.
Because you can kick somebody out of a building. It's
hilarious.
Yeah, off of like the top of the building. But a lot of that stuff is just like soaked in neon. No. It's very Blade Runner-y.
Dude, cool. Speaking of that, there was one mission I did where basically it was a VI like a virtual intelligence kind of situation where this scientist took his autistic brother who was really good at math.
I know what you're talking about. Yep.
And decided, hey, you're really good at math. You'd be a great test subject for interfacing with this computer.
Right.
And he's like, I don't want to do that. All I know is like square roots. And he's like, no,
nope, too late.
Doing this. And so then he does. And then like the VI becomes fused with this person. And now it's just this super angry VI that can take over entire planets, then inject itself into other computers. And it's a really crazy situation. And then like, so you get to this planet just in time because this rogue VI is aligned all the like satellite array to like beam itself up and then like just infect all the computers in the whole galaxy with its rogue VI.
Right.
And so you get there just in time, you blow up all the satellites, but then you find his brother, you find the test subject brother, and he is just like crucified, literally crucified, like has stuff going through his hands and feet, has his eyes like peeled open.
Yeah, it's like Event Horizon for a second.
Yes, and he has tubes going in his mouth, and it's just like, oh my god. And
yeah, the 2 is definitely a darker game than the first one for sure. But it has some like disturbing stuff like that.
But the whole time you were actually working with that guy's brother because he was lying to you and telling you that his brother had volunteered for this situation and that really nothing bad really happened to him. He just happened to like go rogue when he got in there. But it's like, no, this guy actually like forced him into this situation. And so like that was a really like big like, are you gonna go red or blue here? You could either kill, oh man, I was just like, holy shit, like the stakes here, even though it's just one guy, the stakes here are very high for whichever way you decide to go. I spared the guy because I'm trying to play it as a Paragon. But yeah, like and there weren't any moments I think that made me like think about morality that much in the first Mass Effect. Like,
yeah, it's Mass Effect 1 is a lot more like easy black and white dilemmas. I don't think they're like the Ragnar, I think, is like probably the grayest area.
Yeah, and that's similar, but still it's a Ragnar. It's not a human.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's the stakes for an insect-like creature who could potentially take over the galaxy and destroy everybody, versus like an actual human being used as a construct for a VI and a simulation. It is very different and is very like, it is a conundrum. Like, what do you do? Like, do you stop this guy forever because he's doing bad things? It's not his fault that he's been put in the situation, but he's still doing the bad things, versus, potentially saving a lot of lives by killing this person who doesn't deserve it, really.
Yeah.
It is a lot more black or a lot more gray, and there's a lot.
Well, you're not contemplating killing the VI guy.
It's the brother.
Yeah, so there's actually two kind of conundrums there. The first is, do you so there's like a mental hospital that you could take the VI guy to and be like, it's basically is like, this hospital helps people like him. Obviously they haven't taken over entire computer softwares with their mind, but they help people like him. Or you could leave him with his brother, because and we haven't really discussed this part of it.
We don't want to like spoil the whole thing for people. We don't want to. We don't want to do that.
People might not. Oh god, it's so good.
Yeah, but that's why we shouldn't spoil it for people.
You're right. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that was probably the coolest part that I've played so far in Mass Effect. Real quickly, I'll go over. We'll get out of that because I am getting very close to some serious spoiler territory. But you know what's even crazier? That's not even a main mission. That's a side mission.
Well, the main missions in that game are just recruiting missions. Like,
I know, but you could play through that whole game and not even play that, which is and like that's the meat of that game, is like digging into those side missions. And
the meat of most of Mass Effect games is the side stuff. I think the main missions are fine, but I think what makes those games special is that you get to learn those characters and the way that they react to things through the side missions. And the side missions tend to have the lesser grand but more personal storytelling, which is the kind of storytelling that I tend to prefer. It's like in The Witcher, you get like the big set piece is the main mission, but you get like the nice personal stories in the side missions and the smaller stuff.
I think that after I play through Mass Effect, I actually need to go back and I don't know why, but I have started The Witcher 3 times and never made it past like 5 hours into the game. I don't know why. I've just bounced off. I don't know why, but I feel like after playing Mass Effect, or maybe I should go play Dragon Age after this.
You will probably want to break from BioWare games after you finish 3 Mass Effect games in a row, because Dragon Age is very, very similar to Mass Effect.
I mean, I'm loving Mass Effect though.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think I should probably go play some Witcher again after this, because I'm just like I'm in a headspace for that like deep RPG
dark storytelling.
Oh yeah. Give me speaking of dark storytelling, I've been watching a lot of World War II documentaries for the last like week and a half.
Uh-huh.
Lots of them. Like there's an entire series called like Greatest Events of World War II in color.
World War II in HD, yeah.
No, in color. Not in HD. There's like 3 different ones about like color HD World War II on Netflix. But the one I watched was Greatest Events of World War II in color, and like I went back and watched it, and I was like, you know what? I always avoided these because I thought it was really weird to go and like, why would anyone want to watch anything about World War II? It's like this terrible situation. But now that I watched them, I'm like, it's actually really important that people learn about this, and actually know specific details about this. Yeah, because of stuff in today's world, you know, history.
Yeah, if you don't know history, you might be doomed to repeat it.
Yeah. So, anyways,
well, speaking of history and maybe alternative history,
alternative facts.
No, alternative history. Like, say, for instance, that somebody built a city underwater.
Ooh, like basically like they're rapturing someone.
Mm-hmm. That's where I was getting to.
Sure. Yeah, the last game I've been playing, I told you earlier I was going back and playing PS Plus games that either I didn't get to or I really enjoyed but hadn't played in a while. They actually released Bioshock 1 and 2 as Bioshock the Collection several years ago, and that then became a PS Plus game, I think in like 2019 or something like that, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't played the original Bioshock in
probably 2007.
Yeah, probably like 10 years. 10 years at least. And so I actually restarted Bioshock, and it's not like remastered. It's not anything.
The collection is remastered.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
It's not a remake, but it is definitely remastered.
It's remastered, but was it remastered for PS4 or PS3?
PS4.
Okay.
It came out on PS3.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense then, because I was playing this and I was like,
this looks way better.
I was like, this looks really good still. Like, how the hell does this game still look like this?
Yeah, it's a remaster.
Okay.
It is an amazing collection. I love all 3 of those games.
Dude, Bioshock is something special, man.
Bioshock 1 and Infinite. I replay one of them every year, either the first one or Infinite.
I never finished Infinite.
Oh my god, I love Infinite so much.
I'm now that I've started 1 again, I'm gonna go back and
you can
play
skip
1.
Most of 2, but play Minerva's Den.
Is that DLC for 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's included
does that set you up for Infinite or something?
Yes.
Okay.
It's also just. Really,
I mean, honestly, what I'll probably do is just go back and play all of 2 again, because it's been, like I said, like 10 years or something since I played either of those.
2 is fine, but it like after playing the first one, and
I like 2.
Infinite,
I like 2 a lot.
It's just so sluggish, like because you play as a Big Daddy the whole time, and it's like so slow compared to like the way that you move in the other 2 games.
Yeah.
But Minerva's Den is amazing and so worth playing, even if you don't play all of 2. And I think 2 is fine, but it doesn't really add to the overall narrative like 1 and Infinite do, or Minerva's Den. Mm-hmm. So if you're just trying to get like a full story perspective, I think 2 is completely skippable.
Well, speaking of actually not speaking of anything, but
I just wanted to say something.
No. So like I just got to the part in 1 where you go to like basically the surgery center, and the guy is trying to just create the perfect person.
It's
super Nazi. It is super Nazi.
Yeah, he's basically Goebbels or Goebbels.
Yeah, he's like, this one's too fat. this one's too tall. This one is, and it's like, oh, look at this ugly one. I would kill you now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. It's just
that's probably the creepiest part of the game. Well, no, the theater part is the creepiest part of the game, but that's second on there.
It's good. Oh God, it's so good.
That game is amazing, and what makes that game so good isn't just the storytelling, which is great, or the visuals, which is great, or the powers, the way you can combine them, which is also great. It's like the little things, like the sound that the omatic machines make when you go up to them, like that ching ching ching, that real chunky like.
Welcome to the circus of value.
That's actually Ken Levine doing that voiceover, like the guy who created the series, Ken Levine.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I like that. I like that.
And like the way that the way that the plasmids work, the way that you can like buy, like the decision making you have to do with the little sisters, and whether you harvest them.
So should I harvest? Is it actually going to do anything if I can't remember.
It does something.
No.
Consequently,
if I spare them, am I actually going to get rewarded for sparing them in a good way? In a way that matters?
You'll have a soul still.
But other than that, like.
So this isn't a moral dilemma for you. This is purely a gameplay dilemma for you.
No, I spared the last one because I was like, Do you
not feel bad about that?
I feel terrible about it, but I can put that beside me. These people aren't real.
Well, that's what the game is supposed to be asking you. Like, you're supposed to.
But what's her name? Frau Farbishna or whatever her name is was like sitting there.
Mrs. Trunchbull.
Yes, and she was telling me like, spare her. I'll make it worth your while. And I spared her.
I'm not going to tell you that because that would ruin the whole dilemma that you're going through. But if you think about it, like the game is literally asking you what's more worthy. Like they're not real.
Should I get more powers but once you save them, then they are children, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're still not like, I don't think they'll ever be, normal little girls anymore, but
they're still fucked up.
But they've still
seen some shit, but they're alive
and they don't have to harvest Adam anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So
also it's really weird hearing my name throughout this entire game.
Yeah, your name is like the surplus power.
Let's go get this Adam out of this piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that one of the essential parts of the game is saying like, how far would you go to get what you want from, because that's what the whole thing is. Like the splicers, they were people who cut on themselves and modified themselves to the point where they became insane because they wanted that power. They wanted so much of that stuff, and that and you have to ask yourself, is it worth what you're doing to yourself to get this stuff? I mean, that's like the whole part of the narrative. So it's not just a gameplay reward, but hey.
Well, I just went to I just got to the first plasmid machine in the whole game, and I spared the little sister, or I saved her, and I got like 80 Adam or something. And I think if I would have harvested her, I would have gotten like hundreds.
You get more per harvest than per save.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Obviously, a lot more, I think.
But
I'm just wondering
what would happen if you. I don't know. Maybe you did.
Maybe if I just harvest them, then they all like come back at the end and they all stab me with their giant needles. I don't know, because last time I played it, last time I played it, I saved all of them.
Then you should remember what happens then.
Because I don't, dude. It's been so long, I don't even remember what happened.
Well, I hate that for you, but
dilemma.
Don't lose your soul in the process. Is all I'm saying.
It's not even what soul.
Yeah, the game definitely holds up, and I love it.
It's great, dude. It's so good. Love it. Okay.
Let's take a break. I need a refresher, and we'll get some refreshment, and we'll come back and we'll blow through my games. I don't have a whole lot to say about the games I've been playing, but I got a little bit of something, and then we'll get some news in, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
Yeah. We'll be right back. We'll be right back with more Booze and Games.
Nice. Welcome back to the Gaming and Drinking Podcast. I am Travis. This is Adam, and we have fresh beers and fresh content for you. Adam is drinking another of his Maximum Florida, as I believe.
Oh yeah, we talked about this one last week. Westbrook Berliner Weiss with like 40 different fruits in it. It's got dragon fruit, passion fruit, mango, pineapple, pink guava, key lime, tangerine, toasted coconut, marshmallow, and milk sugar.
Very nice.
It's a mouthful every time.
I'm gonna look up that ABV since it's not listed on the.
It's 5.2, I think.
No way, it says Imperial on there.
It says Imperial, but it's not.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lie then.
Yeah, they call it. I think that's probably why they didn't put the ABV, is so they could say Imperial. It's not really Imperial.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
6%.
6%. Yeah. That's not Imperial.
Yeah. Maybe for a Berliner Weiss it is, but
yeah,
that seems like a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
I am drinking a Bearded Iris, which they have great cans.
I like that name, and I like that can.
It's called Attention Please. They're out of Nashville, I think. Yeah, Nashville, Tennessee. This is a double IPA. It's pillowy, tropical, and citrus. I love a pillowy IPA, like don't hit me with all the hops at once. Make it a little more balanced. So let's see what this is all about. Bearded Iris is a great brewery, so I have high hopes for this one.
Is that one that you are a rep for?
No. That's very good.
Yeah.
No, I just really dig these guys. They're expensive, but they're usually worth the price. It's a good IPA.
Oh god,
this actually reminds me of that People's Elbow that from New Serum that you and I had the other night at the Wig.
Okay. Oh yeah. Need some Tums? I got some Tums here.
No, I think it's just gonna be on the wrong pipe.
I actually bought another bottle of Tums today.
You should, since you have massive amounts of heartburn at the age of like 30. You should definitely have a ton of Tums in your house.
I got like 2 different kinds of Tums.
I feel like looking at spicy food makes you have heartburn.
But the thing is, I eat spicy food like it's my job.
That's true. You do, and usually it's like the worst thing on the planet that is on the menu. You're like, yeah, give me that and give me 2 of them. Like the chili cheese fries. Oh, it just makes me sick just thinking about it.
What chili cheese? From the bowling alley? Yeah. Dude, that was a special circumstance. I don't know why the hell we did that, but
wanted to.
Well, you're at a bowling alley. It's like, yeah, give me like the garbage of the garbage.
That's true. Well, that was your plan, but
that's how I am at bowling alleys, though, because I feel like that's just what you do there.
It was not worth it in the end.
No, definitely not.
Not worth it at all.
They weren't even good chili cheese fries. They were terrible chili cheese fries. They were like chili cheese fries that I would you buy like some Ore-Ida, bake at the store, like frozen Ore-Ida, throw them in the microwave with some like string cheese and like Bush's chili on it. And it's like, here you go.
Bush is the dog has the recipe. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Duke or whatever.
Yeah, well, Duke's dead now, so.
What?
Yeah, Duke is dead. Duke died like a year or 2 ago.
Now I'm never eating Bush's baked beans again.
Breaking news.
Duke died.
Duke the Bush's baked beans dog is dead. I'm sorry.
All right, moving away from dead dogs, we're gonna get into a little bit of what I've been playing.
Yeah, and what you been playing, dog?
That would be, well, let's start with Red Dead Online.
You've been playing Red Dead Online?
Have been.
Okay.
So they just released like a couple new updates that made it seem kind of interesting to me. I'd actually never made a Red Dead Online character, which I realized when I did this because I started playing it. And let me tell you something about how Red Dead Online's character creator works. I like to make attractive characters when I make characters because I'm going to stare at them for the next 50, 60 or so hours. I try to make them not look hideously ugly. If we're going Monster Factory, I'm down with that too. I think that's funny.
Yeah, but not I like to just make them goofy.
Well, that's fine too, but that's not how I like to make things that are attractive, aesthetically pleasing to my eyes, right? You cannot make an attractive character in this video game. I don't know if it's because that's like the style that Rockstar wants to do or whatever, but I feel like it was also kind of that way in GTA Online, where everything is just crude and kind of
it's
like
more
ugly.
about, it's less about like the details on a character's face than I feel like the accessories and the clothes that you put on them.
Well, yeah, but also this person's face, it just was very hard to make them look not at all hideous. I ended up making a dude that was like kind of vaguely like Asian descented and stuff. So like it was the only one that wasn't like completely hideously ugly. But I've noticed something that really bothers me about Rockstar's online games is that your character just looks like an idiot all the time in all the cutscenes. So they don't speak. You know, for whatever reason, they don't want them to have a voice in the game. I guess that's so you can feel like it's your character, it's your voice, whatever. But so everyone is just talking at you and you're reacting with facial expressions. And
but because you've created the character, like the facial expressions don't meld.
They don't. They always look weird and awkward. Half the time, your mouth is hanging open and you're looking like, you know how Silent Bob like stares at Jay with his mouth open and like just like nods along to everything. That's exactly what you're doing as this character in Red Dead. And you're supposed to be like this like badass, like whatever, straight out of jail.
It's kind of like this.
Kind of, yeah, except with a more slack-jawed expression. Yeah, that's a little more right there. You're like I don't like that you're always like at other people, and this is the way in all Rockstar games, even in the story modes. Your agency is everybody else's. Like your only agency is what other people give to you, right? Like you're only reacting to other people's shit. You're basically a GTA character right now. It's very impressive. So
it's just another one of the Adam Gogan impersonations.
Except thankfully he didn't use his voice this time. So
don't make me do it.
I don't. No, please don't.
Okay.
And I'm not like a big fan of how Rockstar does this. Like I don't like either go all out and make it like where I have a voice that I get to choose from like 3 different voice actors or something, or make it to where like there's no like interaction with that character at all. Like maybe it's just like a static text box that comes up, because this weird in between where you still get these big long cutscenes and you're just like this dope that just like mimics or mimes like a personality the whole time. It's just really weird.
Oh, so they're like, he's like pantomiming with like arms going.
Yeah, so you remember how you played GTA 3, right?
Yeah.
So like your character in that didn't have a voice.
Long time ago.
It's the same exact way he reacts to everything in GTA 3 is how these characters do in GTA Online and Red Dead Online. Like you're not speaking, but you're kind of like you're not acting like you're like, talking or anything.
But you'll like do things with your arms and your body.
You're doing wild gestations, like you're like nodding at people and stuff like that. Like it's just a really weird tonal thing that I don't really dig. But even barring that, like, so what I like about GTA and Red Dead in particular is like the exploration aspect of it. You know, like going out into the woods and like finding, you know, animals or like finding cool little missions that you come across. But you're just doing this on the same exact map that you played in the single player game. So if you've already played the single player game, not a whole lot left to explore out there.
Well, isn't that the same way they do it in GTA 5 though? Like GTA 5 and GTA Online, isn't it the same map there as well?
Mm-hmm.
But people love GTA Online.
And I guess I'm just a weirdo because I never liked GTA Online, and I don't really like this that much either. And also I think the online part, Red Dead 2 is a little bit better about it or Red Dead Online is a little bit better. It's like GTA Online. Let's say that you and I were playing, for instance. We can't just group up and hang out. Every time we do something, we get kicked back to the main screen in separate groups and have to regroup.
Oh, that was the whole reason we actually didn't play GTA Online together, was because it was such a pain in the ass to party up.
Yeah,
because I actually enjoyed GTA Online.
Yeah, some of the nonsense can be really fun.
Yeah, and it's fun to do that together. But the thing is, like, the whole like party and lobby situation there
it's awful.
It's really bad. It's really bad, and that's kind of saying something, because that game still tends to print money. Yeah. It prints money. Everyone owns that game.
People enjoy it so much, I guess they just put up with it. That's my theory.
Yeah.
Red Dead has a little bit of a better system. You can posse up and kind of stay with the same people. You're still not in like a lobby together and like the same way that you would be in like Apex or something like that. Like what I want is them to just, this is my group and everything we do together. That's still not what this is. It's a little bit
together. We died together.
Yeah, but I want Fast and Furious as a video game online.
That's Bad Boys.
Or Bad Boys. That works too. Mm-hmm. But like if you're hanging out with like your dudes and you're all playing online, like you don't want to have to try to find each other in a lobby every single fucking time the mission resets or you complete the mission or whatever. So I don't know, that bothers me. The game is still good. Like it's still fun to play. Like the some of the missions they've added in these newest updates are pretty good. But it's still not quite where I want it to be. Maybe eventually they get it there if they do like a PS5 version. Like the PS5 version of GTA 5 is coming.
Which is insane.
Yeah. I mean, the game still like continually outsells most modern games, so that it makes sense.
It's like, what? How though? I don't understand how the fuck GTA is still every month on the list of top 10 sales.
It's a game that people really, really like. It speaks to a lot of people. I mean, I like the game just fine, but it's not, if I get the free upgrade, I'll get the PS5 version, but that's about the only way.
Is it a free upgrade or?
I don't think they've said yet, but I imagine it would be because they're going to make more money.
They didn't do it wasn't a free to PS3 to PS4. I had to buy both. I had to buy both versions.
But this is like now people expect that. I don't think in the PS3, PS4 generation, they don't really expect that. I don't remember many free upgrades coming from that. There weren't a lot of GTA 5 type games either that crossed over the way that this generation has had. Like everything is getting upgraded.
PS3 to PS4 GTA was kind of its own.
Yeah, it was almost a brand new game.
It was unique.
It was so upgraded compared to what that PS3 version was. But I still don't think they're quite there yet. Maybe they'll get there eventually. It's just not my cup of tea at this moment. But what is my cup of tea is another old online game that just had a PS5 version, Final Fantasy XIV. That game is freaking great. I love it.
I tried to get into it and I could not because just getting into that game is such a fucking nightmare.
The beginning of it is a little bit slow, but honestly, once you get your weapon and you start doing the stuff, like, man, it's so much. The combat is so good. The storytelling is actually really good once you get past that opening little bit. And the way that you're in like a zone and there's just always something to do. It's just, I think that game is phenomenal. And it's still, I really want to see the later story stuff because I've heard that like the Shadowbringers expansion is really, really good with its storytelling, like some of the best storytelling Final Fantasy's ever done. And for me, that's saying a lot. So I really want to see that stuff. I don't know if I'll ever get to it because that's a big time commitment and
it's an MMO. Like you're never like, is there an end to that game or
There is an end to the story. Yeah. So there is an actual end. In fact, today when I was looking at the menus, I saw there was a new game plus and I was like, can you imagine
a new game plus to an MMO?
Yeah. Can you imagine doing a new game plus in an MMO? I can't, but
I would probably just throw my computer out the window if I ever reached that point, but that's,
well, it'd be like if I think it's for like people who play Final Fantasy like we play Apex.
But it's like that and nothing else. Is it like but like I feel like even reaching level 500 in Apex, which I'm actually not that far from.
Right.
I feel like it would take way longer than that to get to the end of an MMO game.
Yeah.
Like that's insane because there's all these different areas to go to. There's all these different missions in each area. There's all these different characters to interact with. There's all these dungeons to go crawl with your friends. And you would have to do all of that to get to the point.
I mean, like some people, I look at it this way. Like if the amount of time that we put into like Apex, if I'd been playing Final Fantasy XIV with a dedicated crew like that, I probably would have beaten that game already.
Yeah, that's a valid point. Very valid point.
So I think it's just like a different
The difference is, I think, is that I don't have the time. I don't have the blocks of time. Like we get that time with our friends, but it's very incremental and it's not like we only have like an hour to 3 hours at most. And like I feel like
raids or something that would take like 3 hours at a time or something.
Yeah, per raid, and who knows how many raids there are in that game.
There's a lot.
Meanwhile, we are playing Apex for like an hour or two at a time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I mean these are probably people who play with their girlfriends or their family, something like that. Like I think a lot of people are they bring a lot of people to it. Like it's like a lifestyle for them almost. Like their gaming time is doing Final Fantasy
14 is not a game; it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, put that quote on the box. Print it.
It's not a game; it's a lifestyle.
But I'm loving it. I'm probably going to stick with it even after the free trial ends this time. The PS5 version is awesome. It looks amazing. It runs at a buttery 60 and never slows down. And that the controller has the haptic feedback stuff with it. It's awesome.
Is it better than that other? What was the other Final Fantasy or online?
Final Fantasy Origin, Stranger of Paradise.
Better than that?
It's a little bit better than that. A little bit better than that.
And that's a new game.
It's a brand new game.
That's a brand new game.
It looks like a PS2 game, but it is a brand new
Does
game.
Final Fantasy XIV look better than that game?
1,000 times better than that game. Like it's not even in the ballpark. They should be ashamed to put that game out beside Final Fantasy XIV. Honestly,
that's so ridiculous.
I'm hoping that they fix all that stuff and make it a better game, but we'll see. Mm-hmm. And the last thing that I've been doing, we'll just get through this real quick, is on the Fire Escape podcast, Mike Mahardy has been talking about Warframe again. He's been real into it, and
I like Warframe.
I decided to give it another shot, and I actually really like it.
The fighting is real good in that game.
Yeah, the fighting is good. The stuff you're doing from the moment.
Wait, what kind of class are you playing?
So I was playing this like fast archery type class, and I realized I didn't really like it. So I went and bought the like main Warframe, the one you see on the cover. Who's like the most balanced, I guess.
Yeah, he's got the sword, but also assault rifles.
Sword. Yep.
That's the guy I played with, and he's dope.
Yeah, he's super cool. He's got a really strong sword attack. I bought him because his like passive is like 10% melee damage increase, and I was like, well, I want to use this cool ass sword. It's impenetrable. Like you open up those menus, and it is just like 5,000 mods. There's 60,000 frames you can buy. There's 2 different types of currency. There's all this different stuff. But I was like, all right, I can understand video games.
I feel like in order to start with Warframe, you just have to completely ignore all of that and kind of just play through it.
Yeah.
And like slowly, I think that stuff kind of gets pointed out to you as you go through it.
So I read a couple of the tutorials and played through some of the tutorials, which I guess I'd already done from the first time I tried to play Warframe. And yeah, at first I was like, I'm just going to get into this mission and start doing it. And that's what I did. And that's when I started having fun. I do want to learn the mod system, which seems like very complicated and weird. But I haven't quite made it that far yet to where I know what I'm doing with that stuff. So I'm just going to keep trying to chip away at it and see what I can do, see what kind of stuff I can learn from it. It seems very interesting, but it's also very, very dense.
It is super dense. It's like trying to like take a spoon to a black hole. Is what I kind of like feel like whenever I open that game up.
Yeah,
but but even like that little spoonful that you get, it's like that's pretty good. It's pretty cool.
I think we should all get on it one night and see if we can get like some of the other guys to play it. I think.
And you know what? I actually played it. I played it on Switch, and it actually runs surprisingly well.
Oh, I'm sure they optimized the crap out of it for Switch.
Yeah,
that's got to be a money printer on Switch.
Yeah, it's really it runs really well.
I bet it has crossplay or cross.
I think it has cross progression. I'm pretty sure it has.
I feel like Digital Extremes would let them have cross progression. But that game's fun. So I'm going to be digging into all these games for the next little bit. I'm probably going to get Skyward Sword because I'm an idiot.
That got released like last week, didn't it?
It came out on Friday, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see, I haven't seen any reviews of it yet, and I kind of want to see how people fall on like the tutorial and all that other stuff that they've been revamping. So,
dude, I saw another. I know this is actually a total aside, but I saw a game that IGN did a preview of, today called Baldo, and they said it's very like Wind Waker as far as like the dungeon aspect of it goes, but then it kind of looks like a Studio Ghibli style art style. And never heard of it, but I saw this preview today and I was like, that was pretty cool. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Not familiar with Baldo, but
I wasn't either until today, but I saw it and I was like, holy crap, how have I not heard of this? Like it looked pretty neat. Speaking of Zelda, but so you're gonna buy that there Skyward Sword, huh?
I think so. I have bought every single Zelda.
You should buy it. You should buy it on hard copy so that I can
let you borrow it.
Yeah.
If they put it on sale like Amazon or something, I'll probably do that. But we'll see. I'll let you know.
All right.
But anyway, that's what I've been playing. So
okay.
Why don't we do our Apex minute? This can be a quick one because there's not a whole lot to talk about.
What, dude? There's a lot to talk about.
I mean, I don't think that there's
a new character. There's a new flipping.
There's not a new character. There's a new character that's been announced. We haven't played as, and we don't even know his powers yet.
Still pretty dope though.
I mean, he looks cool. So we're talking about Obi, whose name is Seer.
That it's like half like, is he going to be called Obi or is he? I think he's going to be called Seer.
Well, it's just
in the
like
game.
Valkyrie is not her name is not Valkyrie, so he's probably going to be called Seer. His
name is actually Obi Trice, and that is his real name. No gimmick.
I hate you so much. What? What'd I do? What happened? Would you somebody say something?
No, his name is Obi. His code name, I guess, or whatever, is Seer. But the reason I'm so excited about him is because if you've watched, like, for the last week or so, the Apex Legends Instagram and Twitter has all been blown up with these little what are they called? Like Outlands Legends, Legends from the Outlands Chronicles. I can't remember, but these videos that kind of tell lore from the story, and that's kind of how Apex has always told their lore.
Right.
And it's really cool. Like, as far as the way that games, continuing games tell their stories, I think Apex has done the best job of making it easy to grasp, easy to jump into, and just learn everything about it in a quick way.
Yeah.
And
because it's really condensed storytelling.
Yeah, it really is.
A lot happens in a small amount of time.
Like, if you've ever seen the show Love, Sex, and Robots, have you ever seen that?
I have, yeah.
It kind of the way that Apex does their thing kind of reminds me of that. Is that it's this huge story told in 5 minutes.
It's in little bursts.
And it's so good. And but the way they did this one was they actually had 3 or 4 1 minute story beats that kind of told the story of this woman and her husband and how they were basically burned at the stake, and there was a moth that decided that, oh God, it's crazy. It's a crazy story. But basically it brings in this new character, Obi, or the Seer, is going to bring in the aspect, at least it seems this way, is going to bring in the aspect of mysticism and magic.
Yes, and a little bit more supernatural stuff
into Apex, which is completely 100% sci-fi. There's no magic in Apex at all so far.
That's it reminds me of in the MCU when they brought Doctor Strange in. So everything prior to that was technology or science based, and then Doctor Strange was okay, we're bringing in magic. Because even in Thor they were what you call magic, or what you call magic, we just call science.
Yeah.
And then Doctor Strange was no, we're calling it it's actual magic. And this is what that reminds me of, is that because there's a little bit of mysticism with Bloodhound, there's a little bit of supernatural stuff with
still his scan is all just
it can be. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think besides, yeah, I guess there really isn't any other.
I went back and looked through every character just to make sure, like,
yeah,
and there is no mysticism in that game besides the Bloodhunder. Like that's
yeah, but
it.
he's more of a spiritual, like his personality
It's more of a faith thing connected to technology.
Yeah, their personality is more like supernatural than or spiritual than like their abilities or something like that, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And but this Obi guy, man, like but they have left a lot of holes that still need to be filled as far as the plot goes, which what I'm actually in my head, I'm half baking this whole thing as I'm watching it. I'm like, maybe this Obi guy is actually a test tube baby kind of deal, like where it's like everyone thinks it's magic, but it's actually some science going on behind it. Because Apex is so based in technology and science, like that's what I'm thinking.
You know those like loading screens that have like the test tube stuff in the background?
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm talking about? I mean, there could be some kind of thing with that stuff.
Real quick, I gotta plug my computer in because I just realized that it came unplugged.
Okay. I'll keep talking. So we've got the new character. There was a new arenas map that is very cool, but it's still an arenas map. So if you're into that, you're into it. If you're not, you don't care. We've noticed this. I don't know if this is setting up Obi or if it's setting up something else with the storytelling, but we noticed this the other day. There are these little earthquakes going off in the map on World's Edge, I think.
Yeah, it's on World's Edge.
So I noticed it first in one of the loading screens, and I pointed it out to you, and you were like, "Oh yeah, there's definitely something there." And then we were running through a canyon,
and then we said, "Oh, that's by the vault. That's by the vault."
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so we were like, "Oh, we went to the vault. We got a vault key and went to the vault." And as we were running through, it was like starting to shake.
It started to shake, and there's definitely some, and it's not it's not subtle, and it's not like something that they're definitely doing it for a reason and for a purpose. Now, what that purpose is, what that reason is, remains to be seen.
I haven't played any World's Edge in the last couple of days, but I was playing on Olympus today, and
were there earthquakes there?
There's a new sound. No, it's like and Rich was saying that like there are these little moths that you can find around the map. I haven't seen any of that, but Rich was saying that like there's.
Oh, I heard him talking about that.
Yeah. Because this new character, the moth is kind of his thing. There was a moth that wanted to die. Like if you go back and watch the whole lore, it's like his mom saved a moth that wanted to die. Then they got burned at the stake. Then the moth also burned, but then I don't want to fuck it up, but like a moth.
So if you're interested in that, go watch that.
So the very last trailer was like, oh, there's a cursed child that has a moth marking on him,
and that's definitely Obi.
And that's Obi, and he wakes up and he has these like glowing blue eyes. And
yeah, he's got glowing eyes in the character art for him too.
Yeah, and so he's this cursed child with this moth marking. And Rich was saying that there are moths that you can find around World's Edge now.
Oh, that's dope.
World's Edge, but around Olympus.
Around Olympus, yeah.
And there were these weird sounds when I was playing earlier. I kept hearing this weird sound, and I was like
the screech that a moth makes.
No, like this. Just I don't know. It's like almost. I thought it was. I thought it might have been Bloodhound doing his ult. But
like that. Yeah.
But like. I didn't have any idea. The only reason I thought that was because Rich was playing as Bloodhound and did.
Well, so that's probably whatever his ult is. Because remember,
no. Because then later we were playing and nobody was doing anything, and I heard it again.
No. What I'm saying is, remember leading up to Fuse, there were all those explosions on the map. So it whatever that sound is probably whatever Obi's ult is, because that was literally what Fuse's ult was. And they would do it at random parts of the map. It was just happening
all over the map.
Yeah, so that's probably what that is a way of introducing it. I wonder if that's because that seems like something they would do, especially if they've been teasing, like with the moths on the map. That seems like something they would actually be doing. Yeah. That's a really cool idea. I'm really excited about this new character.
Dude, the way Apex does their character introductions now has just gotten better and better.
Yeah, it's always like
now I'm so anticipating it.
Well, like from Loba to actually Revenant. Revenant was like the first one that really took it to the next level.
Crypto was even before
Cryptos was cool.
Because it was like he was in the like you would go into the lab and then like there was the busted door and you had to break. I meant
the actual like animated intros, like the way that they did like the first one. I really remember.
I'm talking about the Easter eggs around the map. I'm talking about like those Easter eggs that happen in gameplay. But yeah, crypto started. But yeah, the Revenant one, holy crap! And like the way that like Loba was in that, but like
it was like a little girl.
Yeah, dude.
That was super cool.
It's almost like a Marvel Cinematic Universe type of situation, like you were saying earlier, but like in a much more condensed.
They're definitely doing like
a old version of it,
like the way they pull cameos in and like set up little teases for other characters is definitely MCU style storytelling.
Do you think they're ever gonna bring in what was that guy's name?
Ash.
No, not Ash.
Oh, Jack.
The guy with the punchy guy with the robot arm.
Wasn't he the guy that
was dead? No. Who died before they brought in...
I thought that's who Valkyrie was talking to in that first trailer of hers. Is he not the robot punchy guy?
No, she was talking to one of the guys from Titanfall 2.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about.
No. Oh God, I can't remember his name. He was like just a celebrity. He was like a legend.
Oh, yeah. The guy. No, he's dead. He was murdered on screen.
I know, but don't you think they could do something? They could do something.
I mean, they could, but I don't think that character.
How nuts would people go for that?
I don't think that character is very interesting though. Like a melee focused character does not seem like what Apex is all about.
What, dude? That would be amazing. I think a melee focused character would be absolutely amazing.
Because melee attacks are barely viable.
Dude, you can drop hot. You could drop hot anytime. You could drop hot and just
get one off and then that's it. Like there's not really a lot of use for melee. I don't know.
They could do it.
I think there's a reason why that character was not used, and I don't know that they'll ever go back to it. Although it'd be fun if they had like some kind of like cameo appearance for him again or something. But I think that was just a joke that they did. They played really, really well.
It was a joke,
really well.
It was a joke, but there might have been a nugget of truth in there. And I think at one point, like I really think that they could, especially now they've got so many types of characters, they could. With the talent at Respawn, make a very badass melee character that is just made for dropping hot and dropping heads. Like
God, you just sounded like Bangalore.
She didn't say that.
Let's drop hots and drop some heads.
Hey, this isn't a clip. This is a magazine.
Clips are what Civi's put there. All right, that's probably good for Apex. We're looking forward to that. We'll have more to say when it comes out. We'll probably get Rich to come on when Obi launches.
We keep saying that. I don't know if it's actually gonna happen.
We're gonna do it.
We got to get another mic.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to call? How do you feel about calling that an evening?
Well, let's do the Steam Deck before we leave. We can get all the other stuff.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that Steam Deck right quick because I know you're stoked about that.
So. I love my Switch, and one of my favorite things about my Switch is that I can play it in bed. I love to just be able to like lay down and like do that right before I go to bed. I know you talk about playing Smash Brothers like every night before you go to bed. It's like this really cool way to like unwind if you've had like kind of a day or whatever, and like you don't have to be sit and glued to a screen. You can like bring it close to your face and like just kind of relax. I really, really love that aspect of the Switch.
Can I say one thing real quick? My Joy-Cons have been absolutely messing me up entirely to where I can't even play in bed anymore. I have to play with my Pro controller.
That is ridiculous.
My right Joy-Con does not charge when I put it on my Switch anymore.
Oh my God. Nintendo, get your shit together.
Yeah. So anyways,
I have a pair you can borrow if you want.
Okay.
But yeah, that's one of my favorite things is like being able to play in bed and stuff. So now Steam is releasing, for lack of a better term, a Switch-esque device that will run native games on it, but also will be a streaming platform. It's a handheld device. It's called the Steam Deck, and I am very excited about this. One, because I want to have like something to play indie games on that are only on PC in my bed.
Or when I go, you want to play those naughty anime games.
I want to play those naughty anime games. You know what I'm saying? The naughtier, the better. Now that I'm in bed, they're really going to get naughty. But I also want to be able. So I have a Steam Link in my living room that hooks to my TV, and that thing works really freaking well. Like it is surprising how little the latency affects it. I played Dead Space all the way through on it, which is not exactly a Twitch game, but not exactly a game that you could fudge latency with. You know what I mean? Like,
could you feel that latency on it?
Not really. Like I can tell. I can tell a little bit, but it's not enough to affect my experience with it. So honestly, like if it's that kind of latency on this device streaming to it, I am all in. Like that makes me more excited than even just the prospect of being able to play, Control or Cyberpunk in bed or, at somebody's house or whatever. Like I love the idea of being able to stream like the big games to this thing at all times. And also like playing like RPGs. Like one of my favorite things about the Switch is that I can lay in bed and play JRPGs that I don't need to be like glued to a screen, because those things, a lot of it's grinding. So you can get through those. Are there
a lot of really good JRPGs that aren't available on console though?
There are. So a lot of JRPGs, like for instance, the NIS games, the Legends of the Heroes series, Trails in the Sky and stuff, that stuff came out on PSP, but has not been released since except on PC. So the only way to play them modernly, unless you have a PSP, is to play them on Steam.
Okay.
So that kind of stuff is out there. There's a lot of like weird indie RPGs too that are out there, and stuff like games like Killer 7, which is a really great game from the PS2 era. Cannot play that on a PS2 right now, but I have it on Steam at the. I have Chrono Trigger on Steam. I have like the Legend of Mana collection, like all these different things on Steam that are super cool and would be great to have like on the go, like I use my Switch with, like, cause like the Switch is great for when you're like sitting in the doctor's office or, you've got to go to like some event that don't want to do, or like if you're at your girlfriend's house and she's watching reality TV or something, like those kind of things are the things that I use my Switch for. And I think.
Wait, you don't want to watch Love Island, Celebrity Heroes?
I've had to watch Love Island. I've had to watch The Kardashians a lot. The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, stuff like that. Which hey, I don't mind. I'm not dunking on anyone that likes those shows, but
no, I am.
Not for me. But it is nice to have something that you can just like play while other people are doing.
Would I rather shoot little digital dudes in the face?
Yes, I would rather shoot little digital dudes in the. I thought you were going somewhere else with that when you said, "Would I rather shoot little digital dudes?" It's like, where is he going with this?
Or would I rather watch a bunch of people decide who makes the best cookies? I'd rather shoot little dudes in the face.
Who makes the? Listen, the British Baking Show is really
great. British Bake Off. The only time it's worth watching is the Christmas episodes.
I think it's worth watching. We watched that in my like British TV class, and I thought it was pretty good.
Christmas episodes are great because they make awesome like gingerbread houses.
Oh my god, yes they do.
And they make awesome like all sorts of really good stuff. Like stuff just like in the shape of like reindeer.
Dicks.
Do you have any foods shaped like dicks?
The best kind.
All right, we just lost every viewer we ever had.
Didn't. We just gained like 15. All right. Well, in essence, what I'm saying is the Steam Deck is probably going to be super cool, and I'm very excited for it. We'll see.
What is that little pad? What is that little pad on the right?
It's so it's basically like a trackball. Like it's for a mouse movement and stuff. So if you wanted to play Civ or XCOM or something like that.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
It's a lot like what they have on the Steam controller.
It's a trackpad. It's like what I got on my MacBook. It's a trackpad.
Yeah, exactly. It's a trackpad. But there's two of them. So I think there's two of them. and you can have fine, but it's a lot finer movement. If it's anything like the Steam controller was, the movement is a lot finer than like say the PS4 pad or even like a MacBook pad. Like I think it's a little more refined than that.
It's more for like adventure games or strategy games than for like an FPS. Like
yeah. You would not want to play. You wouldn't want to play Dota on this, but you also wouldn't want to play like. You wouldn't want to use mouse and keyboard
at the moment you can't play Dota on it. Because of
at the moment you can't play anything on it because it's not been released yet.
No. But I'm saying like I was talking to you about this earlier. The GameSpot article I saw that was like, hey, there's a bunch of really big games right now that are not gonna be available off the rip, and I know they said they're working on it, but I don't know what the solution for that's gonna be.
Well, they'll figure a way around. Like Valve owns Dota, so they can just take that anti-cheat stuff off if it comes down to it. But also, like, what's really stupid about that shit is that the anti-cheat software doesn't even fucking work because Apex is rampant with cheating. So it's really dumb that's like what's going to hold them back.
I don't think is that the same anti-cheat software? Do they have that in Apex that they have in Dota?
It's I don't know if it's the same one, but this the reason for Dota and Apex not working on it at launch not at launch, but right now as of this moment when it's not been launched yet is because of the anti-cheat software because it just won't load on that device. But either they're going to allow it to load on that device, they're going to find some kind of way to run a new firmware that allows that device to run that anti-cheat software, or they'll figure out a way to make it run without that anti-cheat software. Because
I think what they're going to end up doing is figuring out a way in that OS. I don't know what kind of OS. Do you know what kind of OS they're using in there?
If I had to guess, it's going to be Linux based.
Yes.
But because that's what all the Steam machines use. That's what Steam loves is Linux. So I'm assuming it's
they can. There's got to be a fix that they can put in there to like make it to where that they're just gonna make it to where that anti-cheat can run on whatever OS is running in that thing. Like that's my guess. I
would also assume that. I think that's the play. At the end of the day,
it would be way cooler if they said, you know what, we're just gonna not. Well, we're gonna make these developers take this fucking stupid anti-cheat out of here.
But the problem is, like, as bad as this cheating is now, like, imagine if they didn't have that software in there, like, that would really suck. But
cheaters gonna cheat, dude. They're gonna figure out a way.
Cheat. As long as it doesn't get like the current Titanfall lobbies, I think we'll be okay. But but like I think they'll figure that stuff out. Valve is very smart, and they don't release things that. Without like testing the shit out of them and making sure that they run everything that they possibly can. And also Valve is in the business of selling software. They don't really care about the hardware aspect of this. They'll sell it to you because they know they can sell them all.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I mean, think about it as, all right, I'm sorry for interrupting, but as someone who does not own a gaming PC and who is really seriously considering buying one of these Steam pads, I can't imagine how many people are just like me. There's got to be hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people just like me that can't afford a gaming PC, but also want to play these PC games and want an affordable solution.
And this is a way to basically pay a console price and get a PC experience. And not only that, we should mention that also there will be a dock for it that will hook into your TV, so you can literally use it
for real.
Just like you didn't know this?
No, I haven't looked into it at all. I saw one ad for it, and I was like, "Oh my god, look at this fucking thing!" And that's all.
It's probably going to be a USB-C to HDMI, just like the Switches. So I imagine it'll probably be like $70 to $90, just like the Switch one is. Dude. So you're looking at about $500 to get this up and running on your TV. But that's a PC on your TV that runs probably really. I imagine that this hardware is going to be pretty nice.
Have they released any information about video cards or anything like that?
It's you can see all the internals. Yeah, all the internals are out there. It's a Tegra. No, I think it's the step up from the Tegra. What the current iPhones and Androids use. It's like the next step in that. And then the CPU is.
So it's not going to run like a champ. It's going to run.
No, it's going to run really well. I think you're going to be surprised at what it can run. They were talking about stuff like Control running at 60 frames, which is a brand new game that chugged on PS4s. So, I mean, that is no slouch. I think I think we're going to be surprised at the hardware, what it can run. But I also think this is going to be mainly if you're running stuff native, it's probably going to be your indie games, your smaller games, and then you're going to stream, your bigger games and you're like
But then at that point, isn't it just what's it called, a Steam Link?
It is very similar to a Steam Link, but Steam Link doesn't run anything natively. So, and also you can't sit in bed with a Steam Link. You can take this.
Oh, you can Steam Link it up in bed.
Oh, gross. But you can take this on the road with you. You can stream, like I can stream Steam to my phone right now on the road. You know what I mean? So you can take it on the road. And I think that's like the selling point, is that it's basically a Switch that you can dock to your TV.
Yeah. So it's definitely, at the very least, we know it's going to be more powerful than a Switch.
Yeah. I don't think that's that's a high bar, but yes, it will be more powerful.
But when you're comparing apples to apples, like for me, for example, I was very seriously, if you listen to last week's episode, I was sitting here talking about, well, guess I got to buy another Switch. Like, and I don't think that that's the case anymore. Like, it all changed in a week. Like, now this Steam Deck is out and I'm like, well, now which do I do? Do I buy a gaming PC proper, or do I buy a Steam Deck? And I don't know.
Well, I think this is a good way to test that, right?
I think that this is an amazing new entry into the market. Like, as far as just like something completely new and out of nowhere,
right?
That no one was really expecting.
Well, this is a good way to, like, for you, somebody who is not a PC gamer, it's a good way for you to dip your toes into the PC market and see if you like the kind of weird software that doesn't get released on consoles.
I know I will.
But the barrier to entry to this is so low compared to what you'd have to pay to have a gaming PC that you get to try. And what I imagine is going to happen too, and this is something that I literally just thought about, is that you can install whatever you want on here, which means you can install Game Pass on here for PC. And that means that somebody who wants to play, say the new Age of Empires 4, when that comes out, you'll be able to play that for free, right to your PC or right to your Steam Buddy or whatever you call it. So I think it's a really great idea. I think it's going to sell
build a Steam
fucking gangbusters.
Build a Steam workshop.
Oh, dude, if they had to build a Steam workshop, just like go in there and pick your components and put it in there. What a great idea. Oh, there's $1 million idea. Like, what else are malls doing these days?
Don't tell them we're editing this out.
Edit this out. We're going to send it to us we're going to mail it to ourselves.
Speaking of editing, hey, what do you think about that for calling?
That's a good call.
Because I'll be honest with you, I really got to pee.
Thank you for sharing.
And also, we tried to make this one short, and it ended up being, I think, almost 2 hours.
Well,
we'll cut it down. It'll be cut down. But
I think it'll be about an hour and a half at the end.
Yeah, but this has been a good episode again, man. Travis, I love you.
I love you too, bro.
Yeah, man. I also love anyone who is happening to be listening to this podcast right now.
Yes, we appreciate each and every one of you.
My second favorite person behind Travis. Oh God.
We're going to continue to do stuff. I know that we keep saying we're going to do more stuff, but we have been very busy. I in particular have been very busy. But I'm taking some time to myself this week, so I am going to be streaming. I think I'm going to do Yakuza tomorrow. I'm going to stream my Goosebumps thing. That is going to happen this week. Yeah, do that. You should do that.
Oh my God. I cannot wait.
If I can figure out if you find the book and I can figure out how to use OBS and
it's a bunch of books. They're right in that room right there.
That crawl space.
Yeah.
If I can figure out how to use OBS in a way that makes it viable, then we can definitely do that. I just got to figure out how to do like big stream.
We'll talk about it. We'll get that going. I know you're working tomorrow, but let's try to do that like Thursday.
I'm thinking, Thursday, maybe Friday night would be good for that. At least we can try the setup on Thursday. I think that would be fun, and then we can maybe do the actual thing on Friday. But we're going to be doing more stuff. I am currently writing the script for the piece that I'm going to be doing for the site or for the channel. It's going to take me a long time to do it because writing the script alone is a lot, and then figuring out how to get all the footage that I'm going to need.
So you're actually doing like an edited documentary style video.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a long form video. Yeah,
cool.
And so I'm doing a piece on nostalgia, like we were talking about earlier.
I thought it would just be you sitting there talking. Oh, I think I just lost Travis. How perfect.
Or actually,
how perfect.
Right, there you are.
Oh, yeah.
What? You froze in a really funny way on my screen.
I just got the internet connection is unstable thing. Okay, we're gonna end this now.
You have become a robot on my screen.
Yep, I know. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching episode 8 of the Gaming and Drinking Cast. We will be back next week. Travis, I'm sorry, didn't mean to steal your thunder there at the end, but
no, you're good.
Shit is breaking down here.
I see that. No worries.
All right, everybody, y'all have a great night. Cheers to you. Cheers to the internet. Cheers to video games. Cheers to beer. All right. Good night,
Cheers to y'all. Good night, everybody.